This video introduces you to the what-if analysis feature of Excel. What-if analysis in Excel allows you to try different values for the formula. Let's go to the Data menu and let's find What-if analysis tab. If you click on that, you can see three options: Scenario Management, Goal Seek, and Data Table. We're gonna look at the Goal Seek and Scenario Manager in this video. Let's start with Goal Seek. Let's look at the example. A salesperson participates in a bonus program that pays 3% of all sales volume generated by the salesperson. The salesperson wants to receive a bonus of at least $2,500 and wants to know what the target sales volume salesperson need to generate in order to receive this bonus. I can try to do it manually and see what dollar amount in sales would give the salesperson a desired bonus of $2,500. If I start doing it manually, I would put the sales dollar that I think might give the person $2,500 and try to calculate the actual bonus and compare with my target. So I will start with assuming that the sales person will generate 100,000 in sales, and I want to know what bonus their salesperson will receive. So if I'm doing it manually, next to the bonus amount, I would put the formula to calculate my bonus amount, and the formula would be sales dollars times bonus percentage. So B3 times B4, and that will give me a bonus of 3,000. The target is 2,500, so it tells me that the sales generated should be less than 100,000, but what it should be, let's try 70,000. Now bonus is 2,100, not 25 exactly. So I can try to run different scenario, try to change the sales volume to match the bonus to 2,500 manually, or I can use their Goal Seek for this purpose and get this solution calculated by Excel. So to do that, I will clear the sales dollar cell in here, but I will keep the formula that the Goal Seek tool will use to run different scenarios. After that, I'm gonna go to What If Analysis, select Goal Seek, and now I need to set up their variables that Goal Seek will use to calculate their required target for bonus. So I need to set the cell, and that should be my target cell. My target cell is bonus amount. So I'm gonna set the cell B5 to the value of my target, which is 2,500. And I want to set this bonus amount, this target, to 2,500 by changing the cell's volume, which is in B3. It should be in B3. So I set up all the parameters, all the variables for the Goal Seek to work. So again, I set up my target cell to the value of 2,500, and I wanted to do by changing the value in B3, which is sales dollar amount. After that, I'm ready to click OK. And you can see that Excel calculated the sales dollar amount needed to receive 2,500, and it's 83,333 cents. And the Goal Seek will give me a status. It will tell me that it found the solution in cell B5. The target value got to 2,500, which was a target value And I click OK, and this scenario is here for me. If I want to run different scenario and let's say see what salesperson need to generate to receive 4,200, I would need to rerun this scenario again. It's not safe. I'm gonna click on goal seek, and all the value are blank already. So the the target cell is the same, B5, but my target value now, I want to bid 4,200, so I'm gonna put 4,200. My change in cell is the same, the sales dollar amount, so I'm gonna click on a B3, and I'm gonna click OK to run this scenario. And now I can see to receive 4,200, the salesperson need to generate 140,000 in sales. But these scenarios, as you can see, are not saved. So anytime I would run this scenario, I would need to input it again. There is a different feature of Excel in what if analysis that calls Scenario Manager that help me and let me not only create this scenario and run them, but also store them and run them anytime I need to run this scenario. So the scenarios would set some input values and corresponding results from calculation, and Excel would save it and report it as needed. And that worksheet with the scenario can be used to conduct what-if analysis on a different sets of data. So let's look at the example and run different scenario and see how their scenario manager works. We're looking at their construction project numbers. Their construction project started in January 2018. It will take 300 hours to complete. Completion date set to August 2018, and total cost of this project 15,000 if you will use one contractor that will work 300 hours, regular hours, no overtime. We pay 200 for contractor per hour, just for contractor, just to have a contractor. Per hour, we're gonna pay $50 for contractor work hour and $75 for any overtime hours. So right now we can calculate the regular cost, which would be number of contractor multiplied by number of hours one contractor work, and the rate for their standard hour, and that's our 15,000 in cost. Overtime cost would be again number of contractor, how many overtime hours contractor work, and overtime rate, which is 75. But since our overtime hours are 0 in this scenario, the overtime cost is 0 as well. And this here we just calculate the total hour work, meaning we combine regular hours with overtime hours and multiply by number of contractors. So this is the basic formulas for this, for budgeting, how many contractors you can use and how much you would pay. So our first scenario is a one contractor, no overtime. But then we want to look at that. Is it going to be more efficient or maybe cost beneficent if we will have one contractor and overtime? We want to complete it faster. What if we're going to ask the person work overtime? How much money it's going to cost us? And the third scenario I want to look at, what if I will bring two contractors, but they're not going to work overtime, but I will have two contractors, and can I complete the project faster and still within my budget? So let's start working with a scenario manager by selecting scenario manager and adding first scenario. We click on add, and now I need to first name this scenario. My first scenario is one contractor, no overtime. You need to come up with a name for your scenarios to make sense to you, so you can be able to track what scenario will give you what results, and you would be able to switch between scenarios and find the right one you want to work with. No overtime. One contractor, no overtime. So now I need to enter the cells I want to change to run my scenario. So what I'm going to be changing, I'm going to be changing how many contractor I have, how many regular hours they work, and how many overtime hours it's going to be. That's basically my main differences in my scenarios, right? I have one contractor, no overtime, one contractor overtime, two contractors, no overtime. So that's my variables. That's the cells I'm going to change in my scenarios. I'm ready to click OK, and it will ask me what the values for their my variables that I want to change should be. So D9 is my contractors, and in this scenario I have one contractor, no change needed. How many hours the contractor need to work? 300, no change here. And D11 is overtime, and my scenario, the first scenario, is one contractor, no overtime, so 0 for overtime. Now I'm click OK. This scenario is saved. I need to add another one contractor, overtime. I'm clicking add. I'm gonna name it one contractor, overtime. The same cells are going to be changing: the number of contractor, regular hours, overtime hours. And then I click OK. And now I have one contractor, same regular hours, but I have overtime. And let's say I want my contractor to work 40 hours overtime. I'm adding 40 here. That's the second scenario. And my third scenario is two contractors, no overtime. I will add this scenario. I will name it two contractors, no overtime. Same change in cells, click OK. Now I need to change one contractor to two contractors, same regular hours, and 0 overtime. Click OK. So now I have all my three scenarios. What I can do, I can run each of them. For example, I'm click on the first one, and you can click on that and hit show, and it will show you the result. This is what we have, no changes. Now I'm gonna run the second scenario. I'll select one contractor, overtime, and I click show, and it will show me that there's one contractor, regular hours 300, but overtime hours is 40, and the total cost now is 18,000, not 15 as it used to be, because there is regular cost and there's overtime cost, and the number of hours work is increased to 340. Now I can run the third scenario, two contractors, no overtime. Also select your scenario and click show, and it will show you that your cost actually went up. It's already 30,000 because you have two contractors, each work for 300 hours. There's additional 200 surcharge for additional contractor, and your regular cost is double, and total hours work is 600. What if I want to compare these three scenarios side by side? And Excel actually can help me. I can do summary, and it will create me a summary of all these three scenarios side by side. If I click on this summary, it will ask me scenario summary. It can even give me pivot table report. This is fine just for summary, and it asks me what results I want to be in my scenario, what cells I want to show, and it actually highlights you what it's gonna show you. It tells me that I'm gonna show me my total cost, my regular cost, overtime, total work hour worked. It's basically what I want to see. Fine with that. Let's click OK, and Excel creates this additional tab with scenario summary, and within there these scenarios side by side, and you can see current values, whatever it was last scenario that we ran, and then it will give you the first scenario, one contractor, no overtime, the second scenario, one contractor, overtime, and the third, two contractors, no overtime. But it will give you change in cells just with cells references. To make this report readable, you need to change the cells reference to the names of the what items you change and what results you're looking at. So D9 it's here. D9 is actually number of contractors. So I'm gonna copy it and put it here. This next is D10 is regular hours and overtime hours. I'm just gonna copy both of them. Still gonna copy and just put it here, and we can kind of expand. D7 is my total cost. I'm gonna copy total cost and put here. D15 is regular cost. D16 is overtime. And D17 is the total hour worked. I'm gonna just copy this this formatting to have it consistent formatting everywhere. So now I can actually look at my data and see that they're all the scenarios next to each other and compare and make a decision which way I want to go. Do I want to have two contractors and pay extra but complete faster, or am I fine to just keep my cost down and just work with one contractor and no overtime? That's two tools that we're going to be using in the homework assignment as well, Goal Seek and Scenario Manager.